Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. This is a reckless stream. Do not put in the comments. Do not put in the comments. But we will be going as long as we can. So, well. This is why Mr. Z says, let them talk. Shout out to Black Uru. This comes to y'all courtesy of Black Uru, right? So once again, let's make our let's preface our statements by saying, well, let's start off by saying, and I'm sorry for my background, it's loud around here. Yeah. So once again, this is a reckless stream, so we will, if Mr. Z pauses, y'all already know what it is. Do not put in the comments. Do not put in the comments. So we recall Ebony K. Williams saying that to Iyanla Vanzant that she would only date a man if he owned the bus, right? So she was asked a question, Ebony K. Williams, a couple years ago, if not, what was it last year? A couple years ago, she had Iyanla Vanzant on because Ebony K. Williams was pretty much desperate for a serious relationship, to be married. Better yet, she had come off of a long-term situationship relationship with a well-to-do white man. It did not work out. He had already been married. He had already had what, 3 children, 3 boys, if I'm not mistaken, from a white woman. Ebony K. Williams and him did not work out. So they were supposedly engaged. Once again, they did not work out. Ebony K. Williams was on what, Real Housewives of which one was it? DC, New York, something like that. Right? Okay, moving along. Iyanla Vanzant interviewed with Ebony K. Williams. What people remember was Ebony K. Williams being asked, was she date a bus driver? And Ebony K. Williams saying no, only if he earned the bus. Only if he owned the bus. Okay, understandable. She went on to attempt to defend what she was saying and how it was taken by men, black men in specific. Once again, black men in specific. Ebony K. Williams proceeded to insult black men in particular and say that these men are essentially mediocre. Her words, mediocre. Who parents were okay with them bringing home C's and D's. And she's looking for more than that. Understandable. So one of y'all said she let Vivek crack, which is hysterical. We're getting to it, right? I saw that comment in the comment section earlier. Let's go into it. Because this reeked of very offensive language that is directed towards black people, black men in specific. This mediocre word. And we saw this recently directed to Americans writ large by a Vivek Ramaswamy for the half a second that he was part of DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency, right? And Vivek, who is a child to immigrants, if I'm not mistaken, born and raised in Ohio, but of South Asian descent, Indian, who's a billionaire by a pump and dump scheme. There's a funny in there. We're going to get to it. Ebony K. Williams sounded a whole lot like Vivek Ramaswamy, right? This kind of talk of black folks, black men being mediocre and not up to her level. This is much of the reason why she's single, because she's looking for, as she said to the brother Torre when she interviewed him, she's looking for a man that's the man when he steps into the room, right? Okay, understandable. Z, get to the point, Z. What we see now is, and I want to paint a picture here. We're dealing with a couple of generations, a few generations now, of desegregation concerning black folks and non-black folks. And what we're finding is more women, black women that is, are having adult fun, we'll say, with non-black men. Contrary to popular belief in the black community, more women are having adult fun, triple X fun with non-black men than what was told to us before. I'm going somewhere with this. What we're also finding is Black women and underage young women are losing their virginity to non-Black boys and Black men. So once again, Black women and Black girls are losing their virginity to non-Black boys and non-Black men. I would argue that this is setting up a very, very, very contentious situation for that Black girl or woman with Black men. Um, and actually, I should have downloaded the rest of the conversation because and shout out to Only Logical, that conversation that Cree was having with Gus T Renegade when she spoke of all the secret sex that goes on between Black women and white men. Later on in that conversation, a brother called in and he said he dated a Black woman after she had had I think either married to, no, it wasn't married, after having a very long term relationship with a white man, and how him and her just could not get together. They could not work. And he could see so many problems in her because of her previous relationship with a white man. There is something to be said, and I think we really have to have this conversation in the Black community. The Black community has to throw the old playbook away. The wagging your finger at Black boys and Black men, the assuming it's Black boys and Black men that are chasing after non-Black women, primarily white women, white girls, the assumption that Black boys and Black men are not loyal to Black women and girls. It's Black girls and Black women who are loyal to Black men and Black boys and who love Black men and Black boys. And if they date out or if they marry out or if they have interracial adult fun, triple X fun with non-Black men, it's because of some defective Black men. It's because of something Black men lack, Black boys lack. Black boys are too colorist, too featurist, too texturous, right? That's what we're told. That is what it's implied. That is what it's suggested. That is what we're overtly told in the Black community. And in actuality, that is not what's happening. So we're gonna play this. It's about 45 seconds long, and we're gonna let Ebony K. Williams tell you actually what's going on with her. Um, and we'll just play this and we'll speak about it on the back end. And here we go.
I'm dark skinned, you are beige. Is that the politically correct term?
You know, that's very controversial.
It is controversial. Where do you stand on that?
I would consider myself caramel, certainly a brown woman.
And as far as colorism, do you like dark men? Like, what's your situation?
I run the gamut. I had a very loving, wonderful relationship with a dark-skinned Haitian man when I was in law school. I've dated the Jews, Mazel, Native American.
Wow.
Done that. Many, many biracials. Lost my virginity to an East Indian guy.
Okay, thanks for volunteering that.
You know, I was like, I don't want to really make myself look like a hoe, but, you know.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, Merry Christmas, bitch.
I'm a virgin. Don't tell anybody.
Child, please.
Hopefully you guys can still hear me and I'm not in a dead zone, but you heard that. We're not even gonna go too far. And speaking about the interviewer and her saying ho 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 at the end, hysterical. Y'all caught that. We all caught it, but we're not gonna spend too much time on that. So yes, yes, I heard, she had a relationship with a dark-skinned Haitian man, but she lost once again. Ebony K. Williams, Miss These Men Are Mediocre herself, lost her virginity to a South Indian man, to an Indian man, if I'm not mistaken. She said a South Asian man. Now, we already know, based off the numbers, that Asian men and Black women have the least percentage of coupling, if I'm not mistaken. It might be Asian men, white women also. But we already know among the lowest coupling, among the lowest coupling in America, when we say coupling, we mean marriage in America, are Black women, Asian men. Even though, when polled, Black women supposedly are the least desirable women in America, and Asian men are the least desirable men in America. These two demographics and groups still don't have a kinship, at least based off the numbers, where they say, you know what, we'll make it work together and we'll be each other's number two, number three plan, backup plan. You don't see that reflected in the numbers. Even with that, Ebony K. Williams lost her virginity to a South Asian man, or at least to a South Asian young man, underage, we're assuming. All right? So, is it really black women's loyalty? Is it really black girls' loyalty? Is it that black boys and black men are too colorist, featurist, texturist? They've bought in too much into the European beauty standard. They don't find black women attractive. Is that what's really going on? Or do black girls and women have a complex about their color and about their hair texture and about not being a white woman in America, not being a white girl in America, not being able to flex social and class power the way upper middle class, white girls and women can? Once again, do black women have a complex because they live in America, and they do not have the ability to flex class, status, and race power the way upper middle class white women and above can? Huh? Ebony K. Williams, who was out here touting black excellence, lost her virginity to an Indian. Oh boy. To an Indian. Okay, fine. We're not going to beat up on her so much because she was a minor, raised by a single mother. There is something to be said, and the reason why we bring this up, there is something to be said about black girls who engage in lots and lots of secret sex with non-black men, apparently non-black boys. They lose their virginity to non-black boys and non-black men. And when asked about black men, when posed questions about black men and boys, they say that they belong to the white guys, right? Somebody send that to me real quick if y'all got it, so I can hurry up and play it. The brother that was on the college campus asking the women about whether they like black young men, and a couple of the sisters said no. Huh? Yeah. It needs to be emphasized that we have a number of black women and girls who are having relations with non-black people, and they are spreading their toxicity back in the black community. The miseducation of a Negro, everyone. This is what Mr. Z is getting at. Y'all are having these experiences with non-black people. Huh? Y'all are having these experiences with non-black people, non-black men, non-black boys, and have all the anger and ire for black men and black boys, all this talk of colorism and futurism and texturism and black boys and black men not being on your level and being mediocre, and you are losing your virginity to white boys and men, Latino boys and men, and apparently even Asian boys and men. do you think maybe possibly it might even be just a little bit true, just a smidge, just a teeny tiny bit, that you having these experiences and these quote unquote relationships with non-black boys and men might inform your opinion about black boys and men, dear black women? Do you think it might be just a little possible that much of your anger and resentment, your ire towards black boys and men, is informed by the fact that you aspire to be with non-black boys and men? Or that you might have had adult relations, even as a minor, adult relations, triple X relations with non-black boys and men? You don't think it may compel you to see black men in a negative light? It might compel you to speak about black men negatively or about black boys negatively? Is that at all possible? Right? Maybe the reason why you're producing content about pasta and lobster and the swirl and the black wife effect is because you're aspiring to be with the white man, Amanda Marianne. Uh-oh.
Okay, so I need to tell you something. I've been meaning to tell you for a while, but I couldn't tell you in 6th grade because you had a girlfriend. Even before that, I wanted to tell you I like you in a way that's more than friends. In a way that's more than friends. In a way that's more than friends. Like, I like you.
As a matter of fact, as Mr. Z did not play, I'm sorry about that, you guys. I'm messing up the flow. I'm messing up the flow. We're going to do this. Fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use, right? And I'm going to let, as a matter of fact, as I'm speaking to y'all, let's see if I can pull this up because it should be email actually. Because I think, let's see if Mr. Z can actually pull that up. Y'all give Z a second. Maybe, is this what I'm looking for? Ah, it is not. That is not. My apologies, y'all. As a matter of fact, while we do this, I'm gonna put y'all on a brief hold. So y'all talk amongst yourselves. We'll be back on the other end. Mr. Z's trying to do something right here. We're trying to pull a rabbit out the hat. Y'all gives you a second. Y'all gives you a second.
Okay, so I need to tell you something. I've been meaning. Okay, so I need to tell you something. I've been meaning to tell you for a while, but I couldn't tell you in 6th grade because you had a girlfriend. Even before that, I wanted to tell you I like you in a way that's more than friends. In a way that's more than friends. In a way that's more than friends. Like, I like you.
Hey, your mom, man.
Oh, hey.
Cool. What happened to your hair?
Oh, nothing. I just
No. Oh, you got the yearbook?
Let's start with boys. Top 5.
Well, you can rate that.
I think 5th is Gabe, then Charles. 3rd is Alex, then Ryan, then you.
That's cheating.
Why?
Come on, you know it's against the rules.
Okay, now you do girls.
Okay. In 5th place, Kelsey, and then Gina, and 3rd is Courtney, and then Hannah, and I think the prettiest girl in the grade is Emma. Like, no offense to you.
No, I mean, yeah, I get it. It wouldn't be fair to include me because we're friends. Wanna sit on the bed? So, I can
Like, psychic powers?
Yeah. Come on, let me see your hand. I can read palm lines so I can tell you how long you're going to live.
Okay.
I actually have to hold your hand if you want it to be really accurate.
Sure. So, how old am I going to be?
Oh, 99. Okay, so I need to. I want to tell you something. I've been meaning to tell you for a while. Not a while, like in a creepy way. Okay, so you know how we've been friends since like forever because we always lived next to each other and then you know, a girlfriend in 6th grade. So of course I didn't say anything even before that. I really wanted to. So this is me doing that now. Basically, I like you. I mean, I've always liked you, but now I like you, and I just wanted to let you know.
No, I like it too.
Really?
Hair looks nice, by the way.
Gosh, there were 2 points, but I'll just respond to the latter one. I meant to say this earlier when we were talking about the reason that black females may be more confused about the system of racism, white supremacy, and who practices it. And I said I thought the primary reason was that we don't experience the more violent forms of it. No, that's secondary. Primary, this is really key. People really need to, I hope people will hear this, and I hope people will believe this. Some people know this. The primary reason is that black females are either the primary participants or secondary participants, meaning that their mothers, their sisters, their aunts, their friends, somebody they know who's a black female is engaging in sex with white people. Our minds are more mushy because we engage in more sex with white people than black males do. Now that seems to be the reverse of what is the case, because on the sidewalk, you see a whole lot more black males with white females than the reverse. But there's a whole lot. There has always been since slavery, there has always been, continues to be, in office buildings, in houses, everywhere you can possibly think of, lots and lots of sex between black females and white men. The key is that it's real hush-hush. It's real secret. And white people, they enforce and depend upon its secrecy so that we don't even know the devastating effect other black people don't even necessarily know, where all those defensive statements are coming from black women, because people don't know she's been in the bed with a white man. They depend on the secrecy of that, and they don't want it exposed. Hush. It's real secret. And white people, they enforce and depend upon its secrecy so that we don't even know the devastating effect other black people don't even necessarily know, where all those defensive statements are coming from black women, because people don't know she's been in the bed with a white man. They depend on the secrecy of that, and they don't want it exposed. Gosh,
Yep. So once again, fair use, fair use. Y'all heard that. Y'all heard it clear as day, and you heard what you heard, right? So is this an issue of simply black girls and women being human beings and having these type of experiences with non-black boys and men? No, not necessarily. But when you have this kind of fraught, back and forth, contentious situation with black men and black women, and the narrative has been, for decades at least, that black men despise black women. They hate black women. They don't value black women. They don't value black women's beauty. They don't value black women's look, right? They see any non-black woman, primarily white women, as a trophy, right? If that's been the framing for decades, at the least, if the framing was and is that even as early as middle school, maybe even high school ages, young black men, black boys, are chasing after the young white girls and white women, Latinas, Asian girls and women, unlike black girls, unlike black women, young black women. When you then hear a 40-plus-year-old tell you, in actuality, this is not a recent phenomenon, but she lost her virginity to a South Asian, a South Indian. Ah, huh. Especially when we know, based off the numbers, that the likeliness of that turning into anything substantial or serious is practically sample negative. It's infinitesimal, practically non-existent. That doesn't mean that you can't find South Asian men married to black women. That happens. The likeliness, though, but somehow Ebony K. Williams lost her virginity to one of these guys. Once again, her
Dark
words.
skinned, you are beige. Is that the politically correct term?
You know, that's very controversial.
It is controversial.
My
Where do you stand on that?
I would consider myself caramel, certainly a brown woman.
And as far as colorism, do you like dark men? Like, what's your situation?
I run the gamut. I had a very loving, wonderful relationship with a dark-skinned Haitian man when I was in law school. I've dated the Jews, Mazel, Native American.
Wow.
Done that. Many biracials. Lost my virginity to an East Indian guy.
Okay, thanks for volunteering that.
You know, I was like, I don't want to really make myself look like a hoe, but you know,
Merry Christmas.
Oh, Merry Christmas, bitch.
I'm a virgin. Don't tell anybody.
Oh, please.
Yep. And St. Cyr says 48 watching, 29 likes. Hit that like button. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Thank you very much. And talking about super chats, Naga, thank you for the super chat. He says, Z, you have been on fire lately. Thank you, brother. Thank you. I think this is the last call for alcohol. It's already done. Shout out to Accountable Commentary. It's already done. It's already done. With that, we already know about how America is moving about now, especially for those of us in these spaces. I caught a bit of Art New Style stream last night, and they were speaking on, you know, just what shout out to Art New Style, what they usually talk about, you know, what's going on in the world, current events. The world is changing. America is slipping. America slipped already. America is slipping. It doesn't hold the same weight. And that does mean something about the petrodollar and the reserve currency of the world and what that's going to mean for the price of goods and services in America for the rest of us and how people are going to survive, let alone thrive. Oh, boy. And when the framing in Black America has been that Black women are doing Black men a service, or Black women are the ones that are looking out for Black men. Black women are the ones who are holding the Black community. Black men are the weight. Black men are the weight on Black women's shoulders, and Black women are the ones who are holding the Black community up on their backs practically. Mr. Z has to speak up against that, because that framing allows for some of us to misbehave. That framing allows for some of us to be sexist. That framing allows for some of us to use whatever bit of influence we have against the other, right? Oh, man. Isaac T. Isaac, this is exactly what it is. Isaac, you can't say it no better. And Isaac says, the mad diary of the outgroup female. I might even change the goddamn title to that. That's exactly what it is. And that's all we've been seeing. You want to see the mad diary of the outgroup female? Here you go.
Men in Germany are treated way differently than Black women in Germany. Black men are appreciated in Germany. Black men are put in a cultural sense, in a societal sense, you are seen as interesting, whereas Black women are seen as lesser.
An experience,
a novelty in which you can approach voyeuristically, and it's dehumanizing. I was a member at Soho House, and I remember seeing a Black man sitting there, and there was all these white women around him glorifying him, gawking at the fact that he was existing. And I think Black men need to acknowledge that their lived experience in Germany is disproportional to that of a Black woman in Germany.
Right. The diary of a mad, the mad diary of the outgroup female. Right. What else is happening with the outgroup female?
She had a weird conversation with me, like 2 months into us dating. It made me think that she had some like different motives to dating me. Made me uncomfortable. She was like, Jeff, I'm happy to finally be with a white man. Black dudes, you can't trust them. They're just gonna cheat on you. They ain't. You know how uncomfortable you feel right now? Imagine how I felt. This is in real life for me. This is just a story for you. I felt uncomfortable as shit. I didn't know what to do. So I talked to a Black friend of mine. His name's Josh. I was like, Josh, told him the whole story. He's like, Jeff, I'll tell you what you got to do, but you might not like it. I'm like, all right, let me have it. He's like, Jeff, for the culture, you got to cheat on that. That's what...
Oh no, it gets worse.
I'm speaking on the behalf of all white dudes that date Black girls.
Can y'all stop fucking calling us massa?
What the fuck do I... You know what you're doing. You know, like, what the fuck am I supposed to say? And y'all be thinking it's funny as shit. You be laughing your ass off, having the time of your life. Girl, fuck you.
I want Black women to have a lot more self-respect than they do now. Kind of just like worshiping white guys. Worshiping white guys. Worshiping white guys.
This is sad. It's getting sad now. It's getting real sad now. It's getting real sad now.
Oh no, it gets even worse.
Normally when we get hate messages, it's literally Black women. She said, oh look, another cracker picking on Black women. So let's try to cook something up. Oh look, another Black queen who wants master roleplay. LMAO. And send. Over or under? Over or under? She's typing. Oh my god, she's typing. Okay. She's just playing hard to get a little bit. What's Black people's favorite seasoning, would you say? What if I put some lemon pepper on it? Question mark. Would that make up for the size? Okay, she's typing. How'd you know I love lemon pepper? Come on! Who are you? Come find out. Text me, love. I'm not on here a lot. Do you like white boys for real? Or is this like a fetish? Baby, it's a fetish. I'm okay with that, period. I fetishize y'all as well, TBH, so that's cool with me. Want to FaceTime or something? I'm bored. Has anyone ever made you like shit or like pee?
No.
Really?
No, that's no.
I know we just met, but how would you feel about twerking real quick? Just so I can get like an idea of like what I'm working with. Are those PSD shorts or like underwear? What is that?
No, these are the cartoon characters.
Oh, period. You know how you said like you do like specialty videos?
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking maybe like, would you make a video for me?
Mm-hmm.
You would? Okay. Let's brainstorm. Do you ever like play with like your Gucci?
Mm-hmm.
You do?
Is this somebody's name? Yeah.
Okay. Would you incorporate the master roleplay at all into it or not really?
What do you mean? Like?
While it's like making like the sound or whatever? When it's making that sound?
Yes.
You'd be like, I'm so wet for you, Joseph, or some shit like that. So yeah, send me your link or whatever. And then whenever you make the video, I'll just send it to like my Discord and I'll be like, bro, like this is a video like this girl made or whatever for us if y'all want to watch it or whatever.
Alright, not a problem.
Period.
The champ is here! The champ is here!
Come on! I do this shit!
Huh? In compassion, it says, it's Black men's fault because in their minds, we made them Black. Relegated them to Blackness. They use Black men as an avatar for the secret objectification they experienced with white men. Thank you. Thank you. You've heard that a number of times. Like you hear that from a number of Black women. Like they resent Black men because it's black men's fault that they're black. I've said it before, black men were the ones. See, FD thought I was joking and being hyperbolic. No, maybe not joking. He didn't think I was joking, but he thought I was being hyperbolic and I was overstating things by saying, no, a number of black women wish it was black men that ran around the world, raped, pillaged, destroyed, conquered, and remade the world in our image. Excuse me. That way, black women would have their version of the European beauty standard. I guess it would be called the African beauty standard. Huh? And a number of the black community doesn't appreciate how this affects, well, once again, the black community. Those of black folks outside of these spaces really don't appreciate it. This is what happens when you hyper focus on just one demographic, on just one sex, and point the finger and say you're the problem. You're what did the article say? Black men are the weakest link. Huh? Black men are the weakest link. Huh? And when you're in your bubbles, in your echo chambers, and you're being encouraged by angry black feminists and white ones, and you double and triple and quadruple and quintuple down on the culture war talk because you don't want to talk about the money because you're the average black person's class enemy, and you're part of the professional managerial class, or you're petite bourgeoisie. Huh? And so the only real kinship you have with black women is that you're a black woman. Other than that, you're their class enemy. You advocate for policies that would hurt them and benefit you. You rub elbows with white women who are low-key, high-key racist. Huh? So you hyper-focus on black men. And what's wrong with black men, even if what you're saying is wrong with black men is not actually what's wrong with black men. Huh? Uh-oh. Yeah. Huh? So what we have is these women who have these experiences with non-black guys. Think of the miseducation of a Negro, everyone. Just have that in the back of your mind as I speak. They're having these experiences with these non-black men. They're getting kicked off of Mount Olympus. And then when they're interacting with black men, all they have is insults, condescending attitudes, right? And essentially, if we're going to call a thing and call it what it is, racist, anti-black views about black men. And of course, you have racist, anti-black views about black men. First of all, you were born and raised in America, even as a black woman. But secondly, you've had sexual experiences with non-black men. Huh? I saw what what Only Logical covered with the black woman who has a kid from whoever it was. I think it was a Latino guy. Swear he never said the N-word around her. He never did. She assumed he never, and now he calls her the N-word, and she says with the y'all, with the ER. Yeah. Dear black community, that's what happens when you tell black girls and women that everything black men are saying is some sexist drivel. And black men are just trying to keep black women and black girls and Blackistan. And not all those white guys and those Latino guys and those Asian guys are racist. Not all of them are racist. The black men are making that up. Huh? It's scare tactics. It's fear mongering. Huh? How many of these black women, black girls are telling you about the non-black guy that they had a child with, or that they were quote unquote married to, or was in a relationship situationship with? that called them the N-word, that was physically, we'll say, assaulting, or just were inept. Huh? Inept. Oh boy. We know that Kim Foster, you know, the one that called black men and the black manosphere useless. Kim Foster went to prom with a white guy because, according to her, the black jocks and the black nerds in high school weren't checking for her. So she was pretty much forced to go to prom with a white guy. Fine. If you're the same, if the Kim Foster you portray yourself as online is the same Kim Foster when you were 17 years old, ma'am, I understand. I understand why those black nerds and black jocks weren't checking for you. I get it. We ain't even gonna go on your looks. That's too easy. If the 34, 35-year-old Kim Foster is the same as the 17-year-old Kim Foster in comportment, yeah, I get it. But here's a question. Miss Foster, did you lose your virginity to that white guy? Did you lose your virginity to that white guy in high school? Did you lose your virginity to any non-black guy in high school? Huh? Wow. Huh? How many black girls, because we're speaking about minors, so we're going to tread carefully. How many black girls are losing their virginity to non-black boys, maybe even non-black men? Uh-oh. Huh? Do y'all think that might have anything to do with the way you speak and view black men? Like, once again, you were born and raised in America, which is anti-black, specifically anti-black men, anti-black male, anti-black boy. Okay, cool. Then you out here having your first major adult experience, XXX experience with a non-black boy or man, and you don't think that might inform you in the least bit? No? Ah, huh? Oh man, this is where we are. I'm glad Ebony K. Shout out to Black Uru. I'm glad Ebony K. Williams said it. That's why Mr. Z says, let them talk. Let people talk. Let black women talk. Let people in general talk. Let black women talk. Eventually, they're going to get to the real. It might be a day later. It might be a week later. It might be a month later. It might be a year later. It might be a couple years later. You let them talk. Eventually, we're going to get to the real. Huh? We let Ebony K. Williams talk. You realize how many bodies she got on her number one? Ooh, goddamn. Huh? Now she's telling you she lost her virginity. Who would have guessed it? Maybe we would have thought, maybe, or possibly a white guy. Okay, maybe. Huh? More than likely, most black men, I think, would have guessed a black young man, black boy. Second, maybe a white guy, possibly a Latino, but maybe a white guy. No, South Asian. Who would have thunk it? Huh? How many black women in Texas, in California, in New York, in Chicagoland area, in South Florida, how many black women are losing their virginity to white guys or Latino guys? Definitely the Latino guys. How many? Okay, fine. That's cringe. We talk about minors for the most part. Fine. How many black women are having secret sex with white guys and Latino guys all across America? While talking crazy to you, this is what I want to make sure I emphasize. We're not just talking about that in a vacuum. We're making sure to remember that black women are still black, unfortunately for them. They're still engaging in conversation about relationships and intimacy and power dynamics and all of this thing concerning black men and black women. Black women are engaging in that. Meanwhile, they're having their first experience, their major experiences, they're having current experiences with sexual experiences, XXX experiences, adult experiences with non-black men and boys. Huh? And we don't speak like that informs them in a particular way. The myth of white womanhood is always there. It's always there. And Compassionate said something a few streams ago that has stuck with me, and I would actually like for him to elaborate on it, about black women in Chicago with the Arab dudes. We already know that was going on in that Philly area. Huh? We know it goes on a bit in New York. We know. But once again, what does it mean to begin piped down by these people, immigrants, children of immigrants, who do not like black people? What does it mean when your black 17-year-old, 16-year-old daughter is getting piped down by the Indian corner store owner or bodega owner or the East Asian store owner, bodega owner that tells black people when they walk in the store, hurry up and buy? But your 17-year-old, 16-year-old black daughter is having sex with that store owner's son. Y'all don't think that's a problem? Huh? And 5 foot giants in Michigan heavy. Yeah, I bet Michigan, the black girls are getting piped down by those Middle Eastern dudes. Where's the wedding rings? Do y'all understand what Z is getting at here? Black women who assume some moral high ground above black men because of their supposed loyalty to black men. Let's be very clear what they mean by loyal. They're not engaging in any type of romantic or sexual anything with non-black men. They're holding out for a black man worth a damn. They just can't find any. They're loyal to a fault. That's how black women have been framing it for decades. Okay, fine. Those same black women, them and their daughters and mothers, oops, those same black women are having secret sex with non-black people all across America while claiming loyalty to black men. Those same black women are not ending up married to anyone and then blaming supposedly inept, immature, sexist, colorist, featurist, texturist black men who are obsessed with the European beauty standard for the reasons why said black women aren't getting married and aren't quote-unquote partnered. I want to be very clear with the picture we're painting here. We're not necessarily, although Mr. Z is not against it, we're not necessarily vagina policing black women. But we are saying, shut your mouth. You don't get to claim loyalty to black men while having secret sex with non-black men. Having your first experiences, adult sexual experiences with non-black men, underage sexual experiences with non-black males. Maybe doing that for a few years, getting kicked off of Mount Olympus, or his parents said, yeah, you had fun with her, but we ain't gonna let you marry her. And now you're stuck in the black community and then you resent black men for it? Absolutely not. Huh? Absolutely not. How often is that happening, Z?
So fucking horrible to me. He just treated me like a stupid black bitch. And it was like so painful for me, and everybody was like, well, you're the fucking dumbass because you stayed, and you're just a stupid black bitch because you let him treat you like one. And like, I know that the situation was my fault because I should have just left, but like, it really fucking hurt because like, I had sex with him and he basically just like used me for sex. He was like white guy in a frat. And so basically I ended up seeing him at Target when I was there with my old best friend like at the time. And he wouldn't look me in the eyes. He wouldn't say anything. It was like he was ashamed of me and just like embarrassed. Which is like how most people get about me, and it was like so fucking painful. And so I stood up for myself and said what I needed to say to him. And he ran away from me when I was speaking to him. And my friend was like, that's humiliating. Like, she was like, you just embarrass yourself, and like, that's pathetic for you as a black woman to do something that stupid.
Huh? And let me read this comment. And Mr. Shook to you says, I personally know plenty of people that were fathered by quote unquote corner store owners. CC ain't lying. It's not black men producing children with their women. Huh? Black women, that y'all have hyper-exposed yourself? Non-black men have exposed you? The internet is the new town square. I don't even want to say new anymore. The internet is the town square. Everyone is exposing themselves. Everyone is exposing others. We're uploading downloaded corn into the cloud. All of your personal information, your social security numbers, your phone numbers, your address, pictures of you, your children, your wife, your husband, your baby daddies, your baby mamas, all flowing on this internet. The narrative in the black community must change, or the black community, black women will drown. Young black men will show their indifference to black girls and women and their suffering, and they will not be able to be shamed. If it don't happen today, yesterday, a week ago, a year ago, a decade ago, it's over. That's it. Huh? That's it. Listen to what Mr. Shook to you says. I personally know plenty of people that were fathered by quote unquote corner store owners. Compassionate and Crowley ain't lying. Huh? Wow. And Compassionate says this might be another masculinist turn, Mr. Z. Once you understand this, all their out group, I think you says, all their R groups that R group, I get what you're saying. So I gotta read it again. This might be another black masculinist turn, Z. Once you understand this, all their R group status in relation to white men, or our out group, maybe you meant to say, everything starts to make sense. Yeah. Yeah. Look, what did people expect from out-group women? What did we have spent so much time, and I really think, believe this is all of this is still part of WS. It was a big ass distraction to hyper focus on the men and their supposed jealousy of white men and white men's power, riches, and wealth, and they use the women as colonizing agents, particularly in the Black American community. Particularly in the Black American community. You hyper focus on the men and all of their misgivings while you pipe in the women. Huh? while you're educating, quote unquote, while you're quote unquote educating, really indoctrinating the women. Huh? What did people expect? See, the framing of this, not just concerning black women, but for, in our case, particularly for black women, black American women in the American context, the framing of this for the longest was um, non-white men, so men of color, chase after white women as the trophy, particularly black men. This is why they hyper focus on the black men that are athletes or entertainers and their non-black spouses. They're not, whether that's a dude or a woman, a man or a woman, they hyper focus on black men of note and prominence that are in relationship with a non-black spouse. Obviously, more women, right? Obviously, they do this. And what was left unsaid but implied and suggested, once again, what was left unsaid but was what was implied and suggested, is that the women, on the other hand, are so dedicated to the men of their own group, particularly the black community, that they wait idly by for these men to get their act together and to value them in their look. And I don't know what's going on outside the black community when it concerns that. Not fully anyway, I don't know. But particularly in the black community, that's never been true. We speak both in and out of the black community like that's the case, but it's never been true. It's never been true that black women over here twiddling their thumbs and something else, oops, waiting on black men to scoop them up. And they're turning down all the white guys. Do I believe that there's some? Yes. Is it most? Uh-oh. Huh? Do I believe B. Simone, oh bum ass, when she says the white guys stay flirting with her in Hollywood or whatever she said? Yeah, maybe. And she's not interested? Yeah, maybe. Is that the majority of those women in Hollywood? Especially the women that are kind of on B. Simone's same level where they ain't really blow up yet, but they all they need is just that one in. Do I think that black women that's trying to really get their big break in Hollywood aren't bartering the vagina with white dudes and small hat white dudes? Who want to say that other black women that are on that same level as B. Simone, they almost there? They're almost there. They're all they need is that one more opportunity to really make it big. They're not bartering the vagina all through Hollywood, all through New York for that big break? Huh? Is that what we're saying? That all other women in America who want to engage in Hollywood are down for the casting couch except for black women? That's what we're saying? Huh? Oh, yeah, all right. Okay, let me do it. Okay. All right, Charlie, I hear you. Let's go. And Jay Everything says, and let's pause right here. Let's read some of these. And Jay Everything says tuition, and thank you for the super chat, brother. Thank you for the super chat. Right. Um, and I'm actually gonna play a little video for y'all. And Trell says Akibulon beauty standards, bro. If black women had it, they would have turned the clock back to 1491, not 1492. They would have got the jump on Columbus and boys. They would have, because we know the history is a bit different than what we're told. Who actually out of Europe at least came to America first. But yeah, they would have turned the clock back to 1490 or 1491, and it would have been Africans that sailed the ocean blue and conquered, grape and pillaged everything. And yes, it would be a black, darker skinned West African featured beauty standard. The beauty standard would be probably someone more akin to Ashley Acuna from the Grapevine. That would be more the beauty standard, right? Even though we know Lupita's background is a little different. Maybe a Lupita, huh? Maybe a Jodie Turner Smith. That would be the world's beauty standard instead of a Margot Robbie, huh? A Margot Robbie, Charlize Theron when she was younger, all of those, right? Oh boy, I ain't messing with you, KMS. I ain't gonna read that comment. That's hysterical. Uh, and Guy Incognito says, and thank you for the super chat. He says, few women want to accept that any man of any race can wear that thong. Wear that. See, that's wear that thong. Whoa. Any man from any race can wear that thing out all night and not care about them the next day. I think they know. I think women know. I think they know intimately. That's their fear for the guys that they actually want to spend that type of time with. I think women know. They still engage in it hoping, right? You know, you heard the phrase hope against all hope. They're hoping that that vagina is so good in their conversation, which it's not, is so great, and that head game is so great, and their presence is so strong that he'll stay. For the guys they want, for the white guy, the Latino guy, or even the brother they want, they're hoping that that vagina is so good and the experience was so great and the head game was so great that he'll stay. That she was able to override his ability to be like, okay, I'm done with you. Thank you. Skirt. I think women know, especially adult women know. Adult women know a man a pipe and leave and not think anything of you. Thanks for the experience. I left the money on the counter. Skirt, I'm out of here. Right? They know. They just hope out. They hope against all hope that somehow, some way, it ain't gonna happen the way it usually happens. And then get mad at the world that it happened exactly how they knew in the back of their mind it would happen. I've heard multiple women, I mean multiple. You hear this, and this is not just a black woman thing. You hear this across the West in general. You hear it all over the West. Z, say the phrase, I don't want, what's wrong with hope? Or that's not the one. That's not how they say it. I don't want to kill their hope. I don't want to kill her hope. Right? That's depressing. All of that talk for what's wrong with believing that this could happen. What's wrong with her believing that? And it goes to that, there's nothing wrong with delusion. All of that fits into that realm where I could just will it to be because I believe it. And if it doesn't happen the way I willed it to be, then I'm angry at the world. The world spited me. The world spited me for not going along with whatever I had going on in my imagination. My hopes and dreams. Huh? Exactly, exactly, Dre. Thank you. Come again. Apu, right? It's funny what we're talking about too with Ebony K. Williams. Right? I'm gonna play the video again for y'all that just came in a minute. Right? And once again, thank you for the super chat, Guy Incognito. God, thank you for the super chat. And once again, he says, few women want to accept that any man of any race can wear that thing out all night and not care about them the next day. I think some women are that naive. Not even women. I think some young women, some girls are that naive. If you're out there being active, y'all know what Z mean by active. If you're active starting at 14 or 15, I think obviously they're naive. They don't really appreciate it. Even up to about maybe in your early 20s, they don't really appreciate it. I think you could be naive. You could definitely be naive, but once you start getting 25 and older, that's not naivete. That's them wishing against all. That's them hoping against all hope. There, that's them hoping against all hope. Right, man. Guy Cunningham says, then, well, okay, let me read. I guess I got to read Lion's comment first. And Lion says, they know hence why they get so defensive about the body count talk, but they indirectly admit it matters when they want to be, I think you meant to say, when they want to be in this quote unquote celibacy talk now. True. And yeah, okay. And Guy Cognitos is to Lion, then why are these black women go nuts when Brad says deuces? Because it reminds them of their station. I would argue it reminds them of their station. They already know. Remember what Bell Hooks said. The women take on the status of their men. What she's saying is not you take on the status of your husband. That's what she's really getting at. The women take on the status of their men. And this was her, Bell Hooks, speaking about essentially encouraging black women to end up with white men in particular because of the status bump that it provides. Right? Because of the status bump. When Brad pipes and tosses, right? When Brad pipes and tosses, and we're going to play this again because I think this answers it, because she tells you the feeling. And I want you, for a second, feel her pain. We know that she probably shot way out of her league. She knew what it was, but feel her. She says what it is in this clip, and I'm gonna play it again for y'all. Listen to her voice cracking, and remember, at the end of this video, she says, "I wish I didn't hate myself so much." Somebody please find the full video of this. I'm gonna play it right now because she said a lot in this. Here y'all go.
Like so fucking horrible to me. He just treated me like a stupid black bitch, and it was like so painful for me, and everybody was like, well, you're the fucking dumbass because you stayed, and you're just a stupid black bitch because you let him treat you like one. And like, I know that the situation was my fault because I should have just left, but like, it really fucking hurt because like, I had sex with him and he basically just like used me for sex. He was like white guy in a frat, and so basically I ended up seeing him at Target when I was there with my old best friend like at the time. And he wouldn't look me in the eyes. He wouldn't say anything. It was like he was ashamed of me and just like embarrassed. Which is like how most people get about me, and it was like so fucking painful. And so I stood up for myself and said what I needed to say to him. And he ran away from me when I was speaking to him. And my friend was like, that's humiliating. Like she was like, you just embarrass yourself, and like that's pathetic for you as a black woman to do something that stupid.
She's telling that's what it is. When a white guy has sex with a black woman and just discards of her afterward in a very humiliating way, just so overt, so callous, so visceral, there is no greater reminder to a black woman, especially a darker skinned black woman, of her station in America. A white guy just used you as literally as a semen receptacle and discarded of you afterward. What greater reminder is that to her of her status, and that she's pretty much probably never going to be able to elevate past that? Now, does that mean she might not be able to marry and have children, particularly with a white man in the future? It doesn't mean that. But in that moment, oh man, in that moment, there's no greater sign that, oh, by the way, you remember you a black woman, right? And I'm a white man. There is nothing black men can ever do is gonna do that. Huh? Especially if it's a white man of any type of status in her area. She said a white frat bro. She said he's a white guy in a frat. A white guy in a frat. Okay, that's some type of status. Huh? Now I already know the backstory. She caught some itchy scratchy, and she was out there. She had a radio show on campus, and she was blabbing. I know. I've heard and read you guys' comments. I understand. But that's real visceral for women of color in general, I would argue, but particularly black women concerning America's history. Now, will they still try with another white guy? Of course. Of course. Huh? Especially for these types. Of course. Huh? Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Better You. And Better You says there's let's say skeet rags in socks that have been treated better. Yeah. That's all you are is a sock, right? Oh man, Saint Cyr, thank you for that. Saint Cyr says 116 watching, 62 likes. Get them likes up. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Oh man, y'all are wildin'. Right, y'all are wildin'. We're gonna let's read one more super chat and then we'll play the video. And once again, Trell, exactly. I keep along beauty standard. And thank you for that guy incognito. And Saint Cyr says, and thank you for that. And thank you for the super chat. St. Cyr says, they're letting the United Nations hit, but shame you for liking light-skinned women and dating interracially with non-black women. Um, they've cucked you black men. Oh, they've cucked you black men. Yeah, because once again, I'm gonna play what Cree said. Let's play what Cree said, and then I'll play the Ebony K. Williams thing. Right? Or should I do it the other way around? As a matter of fact, no, let's do it the right way. Let's play the inspiration for this. Couldn't get the word out. Let's play the inspiration for this. Shout out to Black Uru, right? So hopefully he get wind of this while I'm still streaming. But if not, he'll catch it on the replay, right? Shout out to the replay gang, replay squad. So we're gonna play this for those of you that don't know what Mr. Z is referencing. I've played it a couple of times, and it's our favorite attractive attorney. Although you see the age in her face now, but okay. But let's play this. Here you go. Miss, only if he owns the bus. There you go.
Dark skinned, you are beige. Is that the politically correct term?
You know, that's very controversial.
It is controversial.
My
Where do you stand on that?
I would consider myself caramel, certainly a brown woman.
And as far as colorism, do you like dark men? Like, what's your situation?
I run the gamut. I had a very loving, wonderful relationship with a dark-skinned Haitian man when I was in law school. I've dated the Jews, Mazel, Native American, done that. Many biracials. Lost my virginity to an East Indian guy.
Okay, thanks for volunteering that.
You know, I was like, I don't want to really make myself look like a hoe, but you know,
Merry Christmas.
Oh, Merry Christmas, bitch.
I'm a virgin. Don't tell anybody.
Child, please.
Huh? For those of you that don't understand why Mr. Z played this, over a year ago now, Ebony K. Williams made her rounds. She interviewed with Iyanla Vanzant. She interviewed Iyanla Vanzant, better yet. And during the interview, Iyanla Vanzant asked a very simple question. Would you date a bus driver? And Iyanla Vanzant was getting at something. Maybe your idea of what a man should be in status, in your position, and what his position should be in this kind of success hierarchy, maybe that's the issue. So when Iyanla asked her, would you date a bus driver? What Iyanla is essentially saying, and what Mr. Z gathers from it, is you have the money and the status. Does he have to have it? You're good financially, and you're going to be good financially regardless. Does he have to match you or be higher? And so when Ebony responds with only if he owns the bus, once again, Iyanla asked Ebony, would you date a bus driver? Ebony responds, only if he owns the bus. She responds with a snarky look on her face. Like, is that even a real question? Of course I wouldn't. Most blue-collar men understand. Most bus drivers understand. I see the people that were responding, oh, but a bus driver can earn this much. That's not the point. For the Ebony K. Williams of the world, it's not only the money, it's the status and the way the money looks. I don't want the money to look like a $70,000 F-150. I want the money to look like a 5 Series. Right? Or at least a Benz E-Class. Okay, fine. Ebony K. Williams continues and essentially goes on tour about her views. And she defends her views, and in the defense of her views, she dog whistles anti-black male or black male misandry with mediocre men talk, once again directed primarily at black men. Your parents raise y'all to be okay with C's and D's, once again primarily directed to black men. Right? We find out Ebony K. Williams still can't find or keep either one, a man on her level, black, white, Latino, Asian, or otherwise. Remember, this is the same Ebony K. Williams that did an interview on the channel Horrible Decisions. And she was mocking these men. These men, they think they're rich, they think they have money, and they got a four-door Audi and a condo in Greenwich. So all you professional brothers earning your 120 a year, your 150 a year, you got a nice Audi RS7. Huh? You have the nice new Audi e-tron. Huh? Ebony is saying, yeah, that's cute. There, pat you on the head. That's cute, but I need more. Okay, fine. Ebony went on Torre's channel and said, and Mr. Z is paraphrasing, I need a man that he is the man in whatever environment. In other words, what she's getting at and what she said is he doesn't have to be the man everywhere. But whatever the thing he does is, I need him to be the guy in that. It's a status thing. Fine, cool. All right. We know sometime mid or late last year, Ebony gave birth to her artificially inseminated child and daughter, and however that worked out for her. So that child now has no father, which is the same situation for Ebony K. Williams, but okay, fine. Remember, this is a black woman who we know she dated out before, clearly. That's much of the reason why she got famous, but okay. All right. We let Ebony K. Williams talk for a few years now. She keep talking. Now you found out Ebony K. Williams lost her virginity to an Indian guy. Does anybody see a problem here? Are there black women who have had only sexual experiences with black men and they still talk crazy about black men? Absolutely. But y'all don't see an issue with a black woman who lost her virginity to an Indian guy calling black men mediocre? Nobody? No? Okay. A black woman who, when she became not so much a household name in the black community, but when she became more popular in the black community, was in a relationship situationship type of situation with a rich white guy who didn't end up marrying her. Nobody see an issue with that? That same black woman goes on to call black men mediocre, whose parents were okay with them bringing home C's and D's from school? No? Okay. Huh? Y'all don't see a problem with the black woman who tries to hide behind black excellence while calling black men mediocre and saying only if he owns the bus, Iyanla, only if he owns the bus. Huh? Does nobody see a problem here? Huh? What Mr. Z is painting with this, and why we're bringing back this Ebony K. Williams conversation, is to say what Cree said. Cree told you what it was. Let's say it again. Listen to Cree. I mean, really listen to her. Really pause. Take in what she's saying. She's saying something here. And here y'all go.
There were 2 points, but I'll just respond to the latter one. I meant to say this earlier when we were talking about the reason that black females may be more confused. about the system of racism, white supremacy. Gosh, there were 2 points, but I'll just respond to the latter one. I meant to say this earlier when we were talking about the reason that black females may be more confused about the system of racism, white supremacy, and who practices it. And I said I thought the primary reason was that we don't experience the more violent forms of it. No, that's secondary. Primary, this is really key. People really need to, I hope people will hear this, and I hope people will believe this. Some people know this. The primary reason is that black females are either the primary participants or secondary participants, meaning that their mothers, their sisters, their aunts, their friends, somebody they know who's a black female is engaging in sex with white people. Our minds are more mushy because we engage in more sex with white people than black males do. Now that seems to be the reverse of what is the case, because on the sidewalk, what you see a whole lot more black males with white females than the reverse. But there's a whole lot. There has always been since slavery, there has always been, continues to be, in office buildings, in houses, everywhere you can possibly think of, lots and lots of sex between black females and white men. The key is that it's real hush-hush. It's real secret. And white people, they enforce and depend upon its secrecy so that we don't even know the devastating effect other black people don't even necessarily know, where all those defensive statements are coming from black women, because people don't know she's been in the bed with a white man. They depend on the secrecy of that, and they don't want it exposed. Hush.
They depend on the secrecy.
And white people, they enforce and depend upon its secrecy so that we don't even know the devastating effect other black people don't even necessarily know, where all those defensive statements are coming from black women, because people don't know she's been in the bed with a white man. They depend on the secrecy of that, and they don't want it exposed. Gosh, there were 2 points.
The defensive statements that are coming from black women, y'all don't get it. I'm not saying y'all in the black manosphere. Did you hear what Kree is saying? Y'all wonder where these defensive-ass statements are coming from black women. There's lots of secret sex going on between black women and white men. And in our case, covering Ebony K. Williams, black women and any non-black man. Lots of secret sex. Huh? Is it too far-fetched to say that black women are out here having experiences with anti-black white men, Latino men, Asian men who never marry them, and these black women then come back to the black community saying the same things about black men that the white, Latino, Asian, indigenous man just whispered in their ears when he was whispering sweet nothings in her ears? Huh? Uh-oh. Oh, man. Once again, as St. Sarah says, and thank you for the super chat, they're letting the United Nations hit, but shame you for liking light-skinned women and dating interracially with non-black women. They cucked you, black men. Huh? Once again, St. Cyr, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. And KMS says, and thank you for the super chat. Shout out to the Redemption of Ham art piece. There you go. Exactly. She wants a light-skinned, dirty baby with green eyes and good hair. David Carroll. David Carroll. He was right. Yes. Look, I don't think this is all black women. When we start asking whether it's most or majority, huh? When we start asking if it's most or majority, I think Ebony K. Williams, as a professional black woman, I think she is pretty damn emblematic of her class of black women. We do know that she came from the bottom. We understand. No pun intended with that. We get it. Cool. But I think her experiences, her sexual experiences, her kind of United Nations, as Saint Cyr said, sexual experiences, I think that's pretty damn emblematic of that class of black women. And it wouldn't even matter if those black women didn't have the goddamn microphone. Pun intended on that one. Ooh, goddamn. Huh? If white racist society, both on the left and the right, but definitely on the left, didn't give those women microphones to intellectualize their misandry about black men, then maybe Mr. Z wouldn't sound the way he does. But it's the Ebony K. Williams of the world that get out of bed with the white man and then get in position. Oops. They get the microphone. Oh, goddamn, Z, how many puns? And then they get to speak. And they get to intellectualize their misandry about black men and hide behind 4 and 5 syllable words. And cultural leftist arguments about family. Yawn. It's the Ebony K. Williams of the world. We would. This is the thing. KMS, Mr. Z wouldn't even care that they want the light-skinned baby with the green eyes. They want the mixed light-skinned baby with the green eyes. They want to practice their version of the redemption of fam. It wouldn't even matter. It would, but it wouldn't even matter if they didn't have the microphone and for the past few decades got to speak in the framing of the black community is that black women were stuck in a black community with inept, incapable, sexist, misogynoirist black men who are both hyper masculine while being secretly gay, while being we're gonna have to say the word abusive, and while being weak and pathetic. Mr. Z, some of these things are mutually exclusive. How do they even occupy the same space at the same time? It don't gotta make sense. If the framing in the black community wasn't that for the past few decades, then maybe Mr. Z wouldn't even have a channel. Or maybe Mr. Z would be talking about something else. Politics or something. But how can Z speak about politics or history or cars when we have had black women who have been deputized to be the colonizing agent of the black community for the past few decades, centuries? Who are the more often than many of y'all would like to believe, are the sexual playthings for non-black men secretly, right? The sexual playthings for non-black men while railing against black men and black men's misbehavior, apparently. Oh boy. And once again, KMS, thank you for that super chat. And KMS also says, black women want one admixture. I need you to accept me when I get booted off of off of Mount Wadamanjaro. Exactly. Nope. Right? I need to get that Shannon Sharp nope meme. Somebody said it earlier. You're right. I need to get the Shannon Sharp nope meme. Nope meme. There we go, Z. And that's what it really is. That's nowhere else to go. I've said it. Let me be very clear. It's unfortunate it took me an hour and a half to get here. An attractive black woman is an attractive black woman. An attractive light-skinned black woman is an attractive light-skinned black woman. An attractive caramel black woman is an attractive caramel black woman. An attractive red-skinned black woman is an attractive red-skinned black woman. I know many of y'all never even heard that term before. An attractive dark-skinned black woman is an attractive dark-skinned black woman. But what does that mean when there's a racial and class hierarchy that white men, for the most part, occupy the top of? What does that mean if you're an attractive black woman? What does that mean? Huh? You're an attractive black woman in America, and huh? So the couple of white guys that want to pipe will pipe. Maybe if you're lucky and you win the lottery, you lose your virginity in college to some white guy who's gonna marry you and stay married to you for a lifetime. But the likeliness, oh boy. What's actually likely to happen is that you have these experiences with white guys who never marry you. You give in, you have a mixed kid from a white guy who never married you, and your mixed child is considered black. Oh boy. Your mixed child from the white guy, Latino guy, apparently maybe even South Asian guy, who never married you. While you rail against black men and intellectualize your misandry concerning black men and hide behind 4 and 5 syllable words and what you think are complex concepts from the social sciences. Yawn. Huh? Oh boy. That's what it is, everyone. I said it. There got to be a civil war amongst black women. Anything short of a civil war is a waste. There got to be a civil war. But there are too many black women who are little sexist, racist, anti-black male, or black male misandrists. There are too many. It doesn't have to be all. It's too many. And they're having these experiences with non-black men, not disclosing it, and then railing against black men. Huh? Railing against the black community. And the difference between Ebony K. Williams and Candace Owens is, ooh, god damn, Z. At least Candace Owens got the wedding ring from a high status white man too. Ooh, oops. Oh. Huh? What's the real difference between Sage Steele and Ebony K. Williams? God damn, Z. Okay, fine. I'll give Ebony K. Williams that. She won't let some white man touch her hair on camera for the world to see. Okay, fine. At least they still got the wedding ring. Although Sage still is doing a whole lot more public hooning. I'll give Ebony K. Williams that one too. Huh? Oh boy. Huh? Ebony K. Williams is a testament to, at the end of the day, it all comes back to black men. You lost your virginity to an Indian guy. You've been out here with the small hat white dudes, right? You didn't mess with certain brothers. Haitian guy, apparently. You were supposedly engaged to a rich white guy. And yet, at the end of the day, at what, 42, 43 years old Ebony is? 44 maybe? All of it resulted to you having to have a test tube baby. Huh? All of that. At the end of the day, you froze your eggs. You had vials of male batter in a fridge somewhere, and you had to be inseminated with that to have your daughter. With your looks, although Ebony is aging now, y'all can see it in her face, but with her looks, her prestige, she presents well. She cleans up well. She could definitely speak. right? I like the tone of her voice. Ebony K. Williams is an attractive woman. Not so much now. She's Asian now, but you know what that mean at the end of the day when you're 40 something and you have to have a test tube baby. Sherelle says I think she's 42 this year. Okay. All those experiences with all of those non-black men. Shout out to all the black women. I'm gonna go date out. I'm gonna expand my options. Well, Ebony K. Williams got the status she has. She has the look she has. Huh? She has the experiences that you think you're gonna have. She over here bragging on her $1.7 million property with no man in it. Right? Y'all gives you a second, actually. Give me a second. There we go. Huh? And oh boy. Huh? So let's continue. And KMS continues and he says, and once again, thank you for the previous super chat. KMS says, before my sister met her black husband, I asked her why she didn't try white men since there's no good black men. She said that white men approach her, but they come with wives and girlfriends. Then she got quiet. They know. They know. They know. What this comes down to, I would argue, and it's not just a black woman thing, this is a woman thing, is this, once again, I can wish it into existence. I can will it into existence. If I hope hard enough, I can manifest it into existence. Right? America is America. And unless y'all flip this thing all the way upside down or y'all break this and rebuild something else, as it currently stands, white men will forever be able to do this to women of color, generally, black women specifically. Use you as a human jack-off machine, discard of you, and leave the men of your race, of your demographic, of your ethnicity, to deal with the fallout of whatever mental or social issues you got. Whatever emotional or mental issues you have going on, because you were almost there, right? You were almost there. You had the white man, but it didn't work out. You were almost there, right? Yeah. They toss you back, they kick you off of Mount Kilimanjaro, and then you're reaching.
Man could have saved your child.
You're reaching forever. And the men of your race got to deal with whatever. But here's the thing. More and more, the young black men are saying, yeah, about that. Nope. Huh? Ain't that right, Miss Miriam? Huh? More and more, the young black men are saying, wait a minute, you done dealt with the white dudes? Yeah, I can't do nothing with you. I got nothing for you. Shout out to the Raj Report. Huh? Uh-oh. But I agree with KMS. They know. They just wish and hope for different. America is about this is what it is. In Dear Black Women, once again, I guess we could say what this is a consolation prize. It's not about your lack of education. It's not even about your look. It's not even so much about your weight. It's that you're a black woman in America. You thought you could fix that or get around that by what? Throwing the vagina at the white dude? Half of the times, let's be honest, they ignore it. They play dumb. They play coy. And the other half, they'll pipe and then toss you back. Huh? Vincent, I wish with all my heart. Exactly. Huh? Wow. So yeah, I agree with KMS. They know. They know. And 5 Foot Giant says black men on Twitter are revealing how many black women are into race play. Yeah, I've seen it. I've been seeing some of those stuff. White men too are revealing it. Ooh, black women, do y'all appreciate how y'all have I said it before, social media is both the best and worst thing to happen to women writ large, black women specifically. It's the best and worst thing. And even with the worst thing, it'll turn out to be the best thing in the future. But as of right now, they're so hyper exposing themselves. I don't think I don't know if there's enough brooms in the world to clean up this mess. If there's enough mops in the world to clean up this mess. Huh? The race play, the shaming, Square Brothers after you came off Hood Dudes carousel, trying to shame the Square and quote unquote lame brothers to end up with you after all of this. Oh, ladies, oh, black women in specific. The exposing what y'all doing with the white guys, the Latinos, the Asians, the small hat white dudes, all that supposed loyalty out the window. Huh? Whatever hangups and traumas y'all have, the myth of white womanhood, shout out to BGS, because Amanda Marianne screams myth of white womanhood. Huh? And when you listen to these women speak, what I love is they expose themselves. They don't even realize what they're saying. I went to this type of school, I had this type of experience, and I like these type of shows, and I find this type of stuff funny and comedic, and I didn't fit in so much with my cousins when I want to go visit grandma, and you know, people made fun of me, and the black community made fun of me, and black people made fun of my hair, and my first experience, and the first person to call me pretty was a white guy, and the first person I ever had sex with was an Indian guy, and the first person that I ever brought to prom was a Latino guy, and they don't realize what they're saying. They think what they're saying is, you know, I'm not so stuck on race. You just told the young black men that know how to hear, the young black men that really know how to listen, you just told them to disqualify your ass. Leave you out there for the non-black men. If they never pick you up, so be it. Have fun with your rose toy. Huh? Thank you. The dustiest of Ronins. Red flags just popping up. Huh? Oh boy. Wow. And Saint Cyr says, let me read this one now. Saint Cyr says, and I'm trying to hear if you guys, Mr. Z, got things to do. Regular streams. And Saint Cyr says, damn Z, are women of color, black women included, the sex robots of white men before we get real sex robots implemented in society? Yes and no. Like, it's not like a white man could pipe any black woman ever, right? Or any Latina or whatever. You know, to be fair, there are a number of women of color just out of spite and just because they know their history. And some of them are just not attracted to white guys like that. We're going to be honest. Some of them are just not attracted to white guys. But for some of them, it's like, I'm not going to subject myself to that. I know the history. I just don't want to go to that lane. But for many others, yes, they are. To be frank with you, yes, they are. That is what they are to white guys, and that's the way white guys see them. And that's for the white guys that even go. We already know the majority of white men still marry white women. We know that. We know when they don't marry white women, they marry white Latina women, and they marry lighter skinned, whiter skinned Asian women. Mainly East Asian. We know that. Right? But white men are having far much more interracial sex than they're getting married interracially. Same thing with black women, but here's the difference. The white men are actually getting married to white women during interracial sex with non-white women. Black women, on the other hand, are having interracial sex and get a wedding ring from nobody. Not the white man, not the Latino man, not the Asian man, and not the black man. While she claimed loyalty and think you believe her. Yeah, that's it. I want to put this out. I actually wanted to say this a few streams ago, and I keep on forgetting. I am about accusing black women of liking white men, even if they don't, so that they can. I'm about making black women prove that they're not into white men. I said it, and I meant it. I think the attitude of black men from now on is to just throw out there to black women, man, you do anything for them white boys. Stop it. I think we should mock them. I think we should make fun of them. I think we should throw it in their face. And anything but an emphatic, almost hysterical, no, I would never do that. Anything short of that, she would. And you might want to reconsider whether you want to date her or not, whether you want to talk to her or not, whether you even want to pipe or not. Huh? I'm about just throwing it out there to all black women. Man, stop it, boy. You give them white boys some vagina. You know you would. Huh? Anything short of an emphatic no, well, thank you. And D-Man, Black Roo has said this, Mr. Z has said this, but shout out to Black Roo. He's the one who really has emphasized this. And D-Man says, watch black women's demeanor around Brad, then you will know. Hey, say that. Huh? I'm about saying, no, we in the era of black women having to prove themselves to black men now. I don't know about what everybody else is talking about in the black community. We are in the era of black women. Black women got to talk to black men like black men are strangers that they got to prove themselves to. Like black men are the employers. And black women are applying for a job at Black Men's R Us. That's what I'm saying, Jake. If women of color have interracial sex with white guys, let them stay over there. Isn't that what the white guys are on? So let me get this right. The white guys are saying, yo, I'm not following behind no black dude. And that's not even 100% true. We know they pipe after black men, but they definitely ain't gonna marry no white girl that didn't pipe a black dude, not knowingly. Not for the vast majority, but yet black men are doing it. Yeah, it's a new day. This I agree with Nefercar when he was saying that. This is a new day. Huh? Ebony K. Williams is proof of that. Where's the wedding ring? From any man. She been married once, we know, before, but ever since then, well. And once again, thank you, 5 Foot Giant. Thank you for the super chat. And Damien says, "Good morning, Z. Passport OG caught my first live. Big fan. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat." Right. And Chef Butter Biscuit says, a light-skinned female friend in high school told me that I look like I came straight from Africa and that she wanted to be considered one of the good ones in college. Wow. I didn't fully understand what she meant until I came across this space. Wow. Huh? Wow. Thank you, Compassionate. And Compassion says, Brad and Chad be giggling in the corner at our goofy ass marrying their side freak. Lord have mercy. Right? Oh, I don't. Ooh, send me the link, Vince. Send me the link. You can either put it in that. Well, I'm about to end out of the stream, but send it to me in email. Please send it to me. Because I want to read through them comments. I know it's World War III in those comments. And Vince says, Yo, Z, you know Only Logical made it to World Star? Hey, shout out to Only Logical, about to blow up. Huh? Say that. Shout out to Only Logical. Huh? It's a new day. We're going to have a new conversation concerning black women and black men and interracial relationships. We have to have a new conversation, everyone. We got way too comfortable with the black men, colorist, futurist, texturist, and chasing after every white girl, and they'll do anything, and they'll lose all their money. All they want to do when they get famous, rich. All the rich and famous black men are married to white women. And that was the conversation for decades. That's been the conversation for decades, and Cree got something to say about that. Go ahead, Cree. Let him know.
But I'll just respond to the latter one. I meant to say this earlier when we were talking about the reason that black females may be more confused about the system of racism, white supremacy, and who practices it. And I said I thought the primary reason was that we don't experience the more violent forms of it. No, that's secondary. Primary, this is really key. People really need to, I hope people will hear this, and I hope people will believe this. Some people know this. The primary reason is that black females are either the primary participants or secondary participants, meaning that their mothers, their sisters, their aunts, their friends, somebody they know who's a black female is engaging in sex with white people. Our minds are more mushy because we engage in more sex with white people than black males do. Now that seems to be the reverse of what is the case, because on the sidewalk, you see a whole lot more black males with white females than the reverse. But there's a whole lot. There has always been since slavery, there has always been, continues to be, in office buildings, in houses, everywhere you can possibly think of, lots and lots of sex between black females and white men. The key is that it's real hush-hush. It's real secret. And white people, they enforce and depend upon its secrecy so that we don't even know the devastating effect other black people don't even necessarily know, where all those defensive statements are coming from black women, because people don't know she's been in the bed with a white man. They depend on the secrecy of that, and they don't want it exposed. Hush. It's real.
Huh? It's a new day. We have to have a different conversation. Because there's a lot of secret sex going on. And by the way, she's not the only one who said it. What's her name? Renetia Tate? Huh? There's a number of black women low-key exposing that. Just like how they low-key expose how many of y'all are touching and rubbing and munching on each other after brunch. Brunch and munch. It's a new day. There has to be a different conversation. All this black men secretly gay thing, black women, I mean, y'all secretly and openly LGBTQ. All of this black men chasing after every white woman or non-black woman, especially the rich black men. Black women, we already know. I said it before. Rihanna trying to pop up at Ashton Kutcher's house, and he practically slammed the door in her face after he piped, allegedly. This is forever ago, by the way, y'all. This is forever ago, but still. Huh? You already know about Brad Pitt in what's her face? Mike Tyson's ex. Huh? While he was married to her. Huh? Yeah, there's a lot of secret sex going on between black women and white men. Huh? And when y'all hear white men, just read all non-black men. Shout out to Compassionate, them Arab guys. I already knew them Arab guys was running through black women all through the hoods of America. The Middle Eastern guys with the corner stores, bodegas. Yeah, they running through black women all through America. And once again, not marrying them. Every once in a while, one of them or maybe their son will marry a black woman. Y'all hear about every once in a while. Every once in a while, they'll get them a Hassan Minaj looking ass Indian guy if they're lucky. But more than likely, nope. Huh? Why does that matter, Z? Because those black women then come back to the black community. Whether she has a kid or not, she comes back to the black community and she moves around like nothing ever happened. But you wonder why this, along with other things, I would argue, is much of the reason why she has a very disparaging view of black men. Of course, you have a negative view of black men when you keep on getting pumped and dumped by non-black men. Of course you do. Huh? And you better believe it's happening here in South Florida, but it's mainly the Latino guys and the white guys, but definitely the Latino guys. Latino guys is piping all these black women out here. Not all, literally. Y'all know what Z is saying. Huh? And once again, Chef Butter Biscuits, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Huh? Saint Cyr, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. And Chef Butter Biscuits also continues, and he says, and thank you for the super chat. In college, I ran into a divester without knowing the term. I introduced myself to her since she was cute, just to get a snarky okay. Then I noticed her talking to a wimpy white man classmate, and with all the deference and enthusiasm. Yeah, I ran into a couple of those in college, and I didn't really appreciate what that was either. I get it. I had a conversation with one of my older cousins. He had the same experience too. Once again, if we're gonna have a real honest conversation, a harsh conversation, here's the harsh conversation. Everybody's having sex with everyone, especially before the age of 30. Definitely before the age of 25. Those college ages between 18 to like 25, 26. Everybody's having sex with everyone in America. It's all type of interracial sex going on. After 25, 26, and it's time to get married, that's when black people, black women, start getting their feelings hurt. Uh-oh. After 28 is when black women start getting their feelings hurt because we start counting wedding rings. And guess who don't have that many wedding rings? From anybody, particularly non-black folks or non-within race folks. Uh-oh. Huh? So yeah, she might have deferred and she had the enthusiasm for the white guy. Did she get the wedding ring though? Huh? Did she even get the mixed baby? But definitely, did she get the wedding ring though? All that sound nice. I hear black women, we're gonna expand our options, we're gonna date out into the shout, rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. Shout out to Kevin Samuels. And that's exactly why we count wedding rings. That's why we count wedding rings. Don't tell me about who you dated, who you got piped down by. That's why we count wedding rings. Did the Latino guy, the white guy, the Asian guy, did they marry you? Huh? Because for dear ladies, if you didn't know, for those of you with that, we try to sell y'all off. We want y'all to go. Go ahead.
Mario, Jorge, Cartwright, Shang Tsung. We got a thrift store of leftover bitches. They're leftover because apparently it ain't enough niggas is worth a damn. Whatever. Point is they left over. We need you to come pick them up. No instruction manual. Figure it out. Sprinkle some white ice on it. Maybe, I've heard the white ice is colder. Sprinkle some white ice on it. It goes with everything. If you come within the next 24 hours, we'll give you a complimentary book on how to date black women for white men. That's a $4 value.
Shout out to Edward Anderson. You heard it. Right? Let me read that comment from you, Compassionate, because that's wild. And Compassionate says, you ain't seen ish yet until you watch a old pudgy Arab openly hitting on a ratchet black chicks all day, little inside dirty jokes and some mo-ish. Bro, I believe it. I believe it. Huh? We know, dear black women, y'all wonder why some of y'all aunts, some of y'all girl cousins are all in their 40s and 50s, single, huh? No black man in sight, no man in sight. You don't know her white coworker piping, knocking the dust off that thing, huh? The Middle Eastern corner store owner half a mile down, a mile and a half down, a mile away, knocking the dust off that thing. Huh? The Latino guy that operate the little car wash down the street, the Latino mechanic, the reason why your aunt could get her car fixed and she don't really got to spend no money, the Latino mechanic knocking the dust off that thing. Huh? That's why. No, I believe you, Compassionate. I believe you. That I believe. Huh? Oh, Vince said he dropped the link. Okay. All right. I'll check it out. I'll check it out. But you guys, on that note, and Inspired Shoes doing a great time. Inspired Shoes says, morning, Z, no notification. Hysterical. Yeah, I know. They be messing with me. Look. Look. I told y'all Mr. Z's goal would be nice to hit 5,000 subscribers. I might start doing occasionally, say on the road to 5,000 subscribers. I might start like posting that as a thumbnail. But yeah, that's the goal. But YouTube don't rock with us like that. We know this, right? We know this. And of course they don't. Okay, he says, so you don't have to scroll all the way back. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Right. And on that note, y'all, let Mr. Z get out of here. We'll pause right here. We'll play this for y'all one more again so y'all can remember or see what Mr. Z was covering. Here you go. For those of you that didn't catch it earlier.
Dark skinned, you are beige. Is that the politically correct term?
You know, that's very controversial.
It is controversial.
My
Where do you stand on that?
I would consider myself caramel, certainly a brown woman.
And as far as colorism, do you like dark men? Like, what's your situation?
I run the gamut. I had a very loving, wonderful relationship with a dark-skinned Haitian man when I was in law school. I've dated the Jews, Mazel, Native American.
Wow.
Done that. Many biracials. Lost my virginity to an East Indian guy.
Okay, thanks for volunteering that.
You know, I was like, I don't want to really make myself look like a hoe, but you know,
Merry Christmas.
Oh, Merry Christmas, bitch.
I'm a virgin. Don't tell anybody.
Child, please.
Hey, even the indigenous got to. Hey, there's not many of them left, but even the indigenous got to play in Ebony K. Williams. Even the indigenous dude got to play in Ebony K. Williams. Goddamn. Huh? They got their land took in, but I guess they got to take some of Ebony. Goddamn, Z. Huh? Talk about colonization. Huh? Oh boy. Wow. I want you to understand, it'd be professional black women like Ebony that get to go on speaking tours, go on lectures, get paid big money to lecture, to travel around the country, to go to different universities, different lecture halls, talk, do TED Talks. Meanwhile, they're calling you mediocre. Huh? No wedding ring in sight. Although Ebony has been married before, but no wedding ring in sight. Getting piped down by any type of non-black man, occasionally some black men too. No wedding ring in sight, and then they're the ones that are supposed to critique the black culture and the black community, and you wonder why it be women like this talking all type of crazy about black men. It'd be women like Ebony K. Williams that write the black men are the weakest link articles, although we know there's brothers that write those articles too. There's black men that write those articles also. Huh? That's what I want to emphasize here. That is why we're covering this. Ebony could do whatever she wanted to do with her vagina, even when she was a minor. That is not why we're covering this. We're covering this to say this is the same woman that was calling black men mediocre, though, who came home with C's and D's. Huh? This is the same black woman who had to resort to, because she had a fear that she would not ever be able to have children if she waited too long. This is the same black woman that had to resort to freezing her eggs and having vials of male batter, black men batter, in a fridge somewhere that she had to be inseminated with. Oh boy. So with that, we'll pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day. And Z, what you gonna end out with? We're gonna end out with Cree again, y'all. Again, to bring it all home. Right? So y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content. Go touch some grass. All right, y'all. Z out.
Real secret. And white people, they enforce and gosh, there were 2 points, but I'll just respond to the latter one. I meant to say this earlier when we were talking about the reason that black females may be more confused about the system of racism, white supremacy, and who practices it. And I said I thought the primary reason was that we don't experience the more violent forms of it. No, that's secondary. Primary, this is really key. People really need to, I hope people will hear this, and I hope people will believe this. Some people know this. The primary reason is that black females are either the primary participants or secondary participants, meaning that their mothers, their sisters, their aunts, their friends, somebody they know who's a black female is engaging in sex with white people. Our minds are more mushy because we engage in more sex with white people than black males do. Now that seems to be the reverse of what is the case, because on the sidewalk, you see a whole lot more black males with white females than the reverse. But there's a whole lot. There has always been since slavery, there has always been, continues to be, in office buildings, in houses, everywhere you can possibly think of, lots and lots of sex between black females and white men. The key is that it's real hush-hush. It's real secret. And white people, they enforce and depend upon its secrecy so that we don't even know the devastating effect other black people don't even necessarily know, where all those defensive statements are coming from black women, because people don't know she's been in the bed with a white man. They depend on the secrecy of that, and they don't want it exposed. Hush. It's real secret. And white people, they enforce and depend upon its secrecy so that we don't even know the devastating effect other black people don't even necessarily know, where all those defensive statements are coming from.